This is the first Cyborg solo episode. What's interesting is that it's one of the few times where the supernatural aspects of the characters are pivotal to the internal conflict, which is a great use of the setting. Starfire and Raven also get episodes like this. I don't think Robin or Beast Boy had anything like this. Anyway, the episode is about Cyborg's struggle with his cyborg body. The handicapped kid relating to Cyborg was surprisingly mature. I don't think you should only be able to relate to people based on physical qualities, but that's another conversation. The kid sounded like Ben 10. I'm noticing that Robin likes to pull up on his villains with one-liners. He did it in the last episode too. It reminds me of how Jotaro always comes up with a one-liner before defeating his opponent. Seeing Robin's concern for Cyborg really emphasizes how the team is a group of friends. The first scene where Cyborg shut down did that as well. Cyborg says Titans go again. The villain, Mumbo Jumbo, feels like a throwaway villain in this episode. He has a personality, but there was no reason it had to be him, and he isn't really relevant to the plot. It also simply serves as a distracting B-plot. Fix-It is the real antagonist of this episode. He wants to turn Cyborg into a complete robot. This external conflict forces Cyborg to confront his robot side. The only downside is how the story seems to frame the human side as fully positive and the robot side as negative. The robot side causes the initial problem, and Cyborg doesn't want to become a full robot. He even says that his biological component is the best part of him, and the part that makes him who he is. Obviously, his robot half allows him to fight crime, but this positive is never acknowledged in this episode. If his robot parts were treated like something that came with pros and cons, and Cyborg reflected on this, the episode would have been far more nuanced. Future episodes do something like this. In the end, Cyborg helps Fix-It realize the value of the human side. What's funny is that Cyborg actually echoes a sentiment similar to mine when the kid comes back. He says, "It's not your arm that makes us the same, it's the stuff that's connected to it," while pointing at the heart. This is the theme of the episode. This was alright. I think the B-plot could have had a stronger connection to the A-plot, and the theme could have had more nuance. This is the first episode focused on Raven. Just like the last episode, this one uses the character's supernatural traits as the engine for the internal conflict. Raven acted demonic against Dr. Light, and the Titans noticed something was wrong. When listening to the OST, I realized how epic the song in this scene was. It's called Raven Freaks. In this episode, when Beast Boy pisses Raven off, every single Titan chimes in to try and get him to fix the problem. When BB tries to bail, Cyborg comes along for extra measure. That's how friends are supposed to act. Compare that to Forces of Nature, where everyone just lets the beef run its course. The jokes are funny here too. I believe this is the first time one of the Titans' rooms are shown in detail. It's cool how they're all personalized. The different Ravens are just amazing. They provide so much character development, are a unique concept, and make this episode one of the most memorable ones in the show. The first episode already gave us a large hint that Raven's actions don't always match what she actually feels. It could be inferred that she does this to keep her powers under control based on the damage that she does after lying, but this episode solidifies this concept. And then Trigon appears, a Chekhov's gun that'll fire in Season 4. The duo deciding to stay, even after being told to go, shows true camaraderie. While listening to the OST, Through the Looking Glass Part 2 is a great track. So is Titan's Face Statue, and so is Good Fights Red, which has one light motif from Raven Freaks and another from Titan's Face Statue. Raven turns white when she's fully powered, another thing that'll come up later. This story is good at planting seeds. They beat the boss, and Beast Boy and Raven become closer. The theme might be friends stick together. I'm not too sure on this one. Great episode overall. It's definitely my favorite so far. This is a Starfire and Raven episode. Pairing opposites together can easily make for an entertaining story, and this episode does that by putting the energetic and kind Starfire with the aloof and quiet Raven. After the villain intro, the episode jumps right into the two personalities clashing. The Titans bringing in a box from an anonymous sender is so irresponsible, but I guess the plot had to happen somehow. Then they start playing with the puppet replicas of themselves with no suspicion whatsoever. They got caught lacking here. A little bit of each person's room is shown before they get controlled. The last episode used the unique setting to have the characters bond, that being Raven's mirror. This one does something similar. The two girls switch bodies and have to learn how to use the other's powers. In doing so, they learn about each other. Yet another unique concept. The way the characters' expressions differ when they're in the wrong bodies is great. I like the parallel and juxtaposition between their powers. Both are connected to emotions, but Raven has to control hers, while Starfire has to let hers loose. This provides an extra layer of conflict because each is not used to doing it the other's way. The duo slowly master each other's abilities and make progress on beating the Puppet King. I like the little detail of the Starbolts being the main ability that Raven struggles with. This setup, along with her first usage of it being the final blow in defeating the villain, was a payoff straight out of a movie. It's also like the sonic boom in the first episode. The episode ends how it starts, except both Raven and Starfire enjoy what the other wants to do. Poetic symmetry. If I had to name a theme, I'd say it's you should put yourself in others' shoes. Great episode. The only problem is how much the Titans drop their guard in the beginning. This is the first Beast Boy solo episode. Triton appears at the start to cause trouble. Right off the gate, the writers drop hints to the eventual plot twist with the line, "He's everywhere." These writers are consistently good at writing plot twists, and we haven't even seen the best one yet. With the Titans, Beast Boy's ego and need for attention are established. This will become part of the internal conflict. Triton being in 3 places at once is another subtle hint for first-time viewers. Beast Boy wants to look cool in a scenario where he has a unique role, but Aqualad keeps outshining him. This is similar to Starfire's internal conflict in Sisters. Starfire and Raven falling for this fraud is questionable for their characters. It doesn't even look good. I think this is the first time Robin has made a joke at one of his friends' expenses. What's interesting is that I'm pretty sure Robin and Beast Boy never have an episode focused on them together. Beast Boy and Aqualad's rivalry gets stronger, and so do the jokes. The mystery continues to build and it increases the rivalry. The external conflict influencing the internal conflict is great synthesis. It makes the whole episode come together. The animation is great. I like how the duo hashing out their issues leads to them solving the mystery. More great synthesis. Making the clones fight each other was a smart plan, and the Chekhov's submarine comes to save the day at the last minute. Aqualad becomes the first honorary Titan. This will become important later. I'd say the theme is the same as the first episode, manage your ego. At least it isn't the same characters learning the lesson. This was another great episode. Masks. This is a Robin-focused episode that brings back the Slade plotline. It starts with an epic track titled Robot Assault and a battle against Slade's goons. Robin shows off his detective skills by being the one to track the goon. When Star gets shot, Robin shows that he's him by saving Starfire and stopping the goon in one move. He does this by jumping from a high place and using his grappling hooks. Slade shows an interest in Robin when they talk. This episode focuses on Robin's overarching flaw for the season, his obsessiveness. He usually chills with all of the Titans in other episodes, but this time, he's obsessed with finding Slade and isolates himself. This obsession leads him to make questionable decisions. This obsession is reminiscent of some depictions of Batman, which is fitting since he's Batman's apprentice. I like how when he's obsessed, he's not unfriendly. The next scene introduces my favorite character, Red X. This man has the coolest design in the show, and comes with a cool moveset. Red X steals what Slade was after, and Robin is unable to join the Titans. The clues that they place in every mystery episode are phenomenal. They're not too subtle, but not too hidden. Red X becomes him, and single-handedly defeats the Titans. He targets each of their weaknesses without taking a hit and then dips. This man is elite. The track is also called Red X Appears. Red X then tries to partner with Slade. If you're an adult, you can probably figure out that Robin is Red X due to the hints. Robin was just obsessed with finding out Slade's plan. Then Red X shows up trying to trade the red card for Slade to let him in on his plans. Additionally, Robin was conveniently absent during the Red X fight. Robin's obsession, causing him to commit crime just to stop a criminal, is so mature and feels like a plot worthy of a Batman movie. Batman breaks the law to stop crime. Robin becomes a villain to stop a villain. It amazes me that the writers were willing to make their protagonist fall so far, but he looked cool while doing it. I like the little detail of Raven suppressing her emotions when the tape is removed. Its consistency and continuity. Robin chasing X and getting captured was a good red herring. If I was watching this for the first time as an adult, I would start to question if Robin was really Red X. Red X makes the Titans look like fools again, but saving Beast Boy was another hint towards his identity. The song during this fight, Subway Face Off, shares a leitmotif with Red X Appears. Slade says, "Trust is easy to destroy, but tough to build." This is a true quote and will come up later. Robin is revealed to be Red X at the midpoint. This was a phenomenal plot twist. Robin leaving the hologram on his table was sloppy, but it is a clever explanation as to how he was chasing Red X. I believe this is the first episode we see Slade in full. Slade also figures out Robin's identity. Cyborg says Titans go. I don't know why Robin dishes the Red X suit when chasing Slade. His gear is far superior, and his swagger is too. During the chase, their similarities are highlighted. Slade calling out Robin's morality was cool. The two have a fight, and the stylish black silhouettes are used again to add visual flair. They've been used in other episodes, but they didn't look as cool. Both fighters use martial arts, but Slade is slightly better. When Robin gets the upper hand, Slade is one step ahead because this is another robot, like in the beginning. While they don't show it, I'm glad everyone was mad at Robin. It was the most logical reaction, and then the episode ends with even Starfire acknowledging Robin and Slade's similarities. The last line is, "Slade did not trust you, and you did not trust us." That was a powerful way to close the episode. This is the first episode to end on a bad note. They stopped Slade from getting the chips, but Robin lost the trust of his team. The external conflict was won, but the internal conflict was lost. Trust is easy to destroy, but tough to build. That is the theme of the episode, and is illustrated wonderfully. Masks is probably my favorite episode in the entire cartoon. It highlights an interesting major character flaw in Robin. It has an amazing mystery. It has Red X. It sets up Slade as a foil to Robin, and it has a phenomenally mature theme. Even though the target demographic is kids, there was nothing childish about this episode. It tackled a theme valuable to adults and was brave enough to end it on a bad note. This was written by Greg Klein and Tom Pugsley. What else did they write? The duo wrote Nevermore, Wavelength, and The Prophecy. They were said to have worked on Season 5, but they aren't credited for any specific episode. That's a good resume right there. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and help me revolutionize the manga industry by buying my manga and spreading the word. All important links will be in the description.